just select the questions and answers.
You should look it up, the last one, to see kind of like
And I've also
how you
been
went.
calculating my time, and last week was the fastest I took, which
Oh,
was only
let's
5 minutes.
I don't know how long it took. Let me see. Phil. I screwed up and I answered one of them for myself. Because I didn't mean to. I took I've been averaging about 3 minutes. Yeah, I took
Not bad.
or three something. Um, yeah, I'm just really confused with what happened this week.
Yeah,
I was not expecting Chell to go.
neither was I.
Are you still? I didn't tell Jessica, or I haven't told anyone, but are you still high on Jessica?
Yeah,
My book's
I was
upstairs. I
like,
have to
I
go.
was really asking her the other one day, like, I was asking her to try and see who she feels is the mole to try and help me, but she was not willing to help at all. Like, she didn't
Right.
even give me a name
Like, did you
whatsoever.
know like what shirt she was wearing? If she had a blurred background, if she had glasses on, like when you were answering all those questions?
Last week, I had to get this past week, I had a guess on all of them because I wasn't too sure because I missed two stream.
Right. Did anyone help
So,
you with like? Did anyone fill you in on what happened
no.
Tuesday? Oh, um,
So, I
I mean
had to guess
she
on
wears
everything.
glasses.
Yeah.
I don't know what shirt she was wearing, but and she doesn't do a blurred background, but that was, I mean, he won't use those for sure.
Yeah, no. He probably changes them every single week.
I just feel like this week I have to like go all in on someone
Same.
to keep me safe because of what just happened to Chell. Like,
Exactly. Like,
I think he only split between two people, so I don't know how he's out. Like, I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I have no idea who the mole is. Can you imagine? It's like someone that we like don't
never
suspect at all.
expect.
Like, imagine it's you, and I've just like in my head I've
No,
written you
it's
off, and
not.
it's you the
Trust
whole
me.
time. Like, you
I
need to.
wouldn't be this freaking nervous if it was me.
I know. I'm so nervous too.
Okay, good.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, my arm hurts.
I wonder how long we're gonna be. Hold on. We're make the moves. So I feel like the other two teams will go first and then we'll go. Ugh, I wonder if I want to go get more pizza upstairs. I'll wait a little bit.
Should be
I was
getting money
like,
on Friday.
I don't know how long
I
tonight's gonna be, so I'm just
I
gonna order
better get
pizza.
money on Friday or I'll be mad.
Like from like do you work from your work?
No, so every so often I get benefits from CRA. And so one of the benefits that's coming should be coming on Friday is the freaking advanced Canadian the workers benefit. So
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm Canadian too. The CRA also owes me money, so when is
I
that gonna
also
happen? I
they
called them up
fucked
last week.
up on my taxes when I've so apparently I owe them almost 14 grand
Oh wow.
in tax returns and then little over 2 grand in benefits. So that's why I'm like, am I getting the money? Am I not?
They can take it off your wages. The CRA is the only what's called an institution that can actually go into your bank and take it straight out of your bank. Not like that's their number one thing that they'll do, but they can take it straight out of your bank
Damn.
legally. Like you can wake up one day and your money's to them. They're the only thing that can do that, unfortunately.
Shit.
Yeah, I always say, I'm like, I know, I've had to deal with crazy taxes this last little bit too. And I'm like, I should just always have money in multiple places. And like, honestly, if all my cash was under my bed or something, they couldn't touch it because they wouldn't know it exists.
Exactly.
So it kind of
Or even
sucks.
e-transfer it to different.
Very good at,
Yeah.
oh, now we're being recorded. But yes, I thought that was on the radar too.
Yeah. I don't know. But Jonathan knows like the most random details
Yes.
that I don't know if he's being fed those details or if he's that detail oriented. Like, I don't know.
I'm not sure either, but were you in one room with him where he was asking what our birthstones were? Because one night room was called Opal something,
Yeah.
and he was talking about like birthstones and like if
Like
there was
his mind just goes in like the most random like direction.
yes. Yeah. And that's why I was like, does he try to take the lead to like have a bit of control?
Yeah.
He is the mole because everything is like very methodical. But then also, if he's really got a good poker face and looks like he's just trying to be meticulous in
Yeah.
solving it, who the mole is, then he has a very good poker face for.
But I feel like the conversation he and I had last week, he was like gung ho for Chell. And now I'm like, if they were all working together, like him and Brandon and Chell,
Do you
they're
think
going to
he
try
was
to
gung
get.
ho for Chell though, or he was just trying to throw you off in the wrong direction?
I think he was trying to throw me in the wrong direction. Because then if I'm answering everything to what right, then I'm going to be out.
Right. And that's interesting because maybe if each of them tried to throw somebody else in the wrong direction, they were trying to increase their odds of,
Right.
But I have not chatted with him through Messenger, so I don't know where his head is at because he hasn't like tried to talk outside of the Zoom calls.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I reached out to him first or he reached out to me. I have talked more than I thought. I reached out to him.
This is going to be a long ass challenge.
Well, it took him 10 minutes to explain it to us. Like I said, it's going to be 20 minutes before we see him again. 20 minutes.
And especially, it's like if he would leave the picture up and we could kind of study it,
Mm-hmm.
that would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've spent $1.
What did we start at? 110?
103.
Oh, 103. Okay.
And I assume it doesn't cost the mole anything to travel. Probably not. I assume they get to go for free.
All right. What is up with you tonight? Yeah, I know. She is not an in-your-face kind of cat at all. And for some reason tonight, she is constantly like up here and like batting things around. And that's not just what she does at all. And
So how is the discussion in the other room going around Chell?
I think everybody was pretty shocked.
Yeah.
We figured he probably threw his answers on one person.
And was just me.
Brandon says that Chell said, and this take it with a grain of salt, that he thought it was you.
Yeah, that's what I heard in the other room too.
Yeah. So
Oh, sorry. Jonathan said that Joel said it was me.
no, Brandon did.
Brandon said that he thought Brandon thinks that I'm the mole.
Yes. And I'm trying to tell him,
yes,
I'm
yes.
trying to tell him that I don't think it's you. I think it's Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to be honest, I'm a little suspicious of Jonathan as well.
I don't know Jonathan at all. I've never played with him, but obviously he's playing this game hard.
Right.
I don't know if he is just playing this game hard as a player and is just trying to figure it out, or if he's just doing a really good job of trying to make it look like he's like trying to figure it out. I don't know because I don't know him at all.
I have never met him before this game either, so
Mhm.
I couldn't say.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people have said Heather's name too, just because she's quiet. But you and I both know that's her typical,
Yep.
that's how she plays. You
Yep.
know, she's not an outspoken in your face kind of person.
Mhm.
So I honestly don't think it's Heather.
It's funny how nobody thinks it's Brandon.
I don't think he could pull it off. To be honest.
Yeah, he just seemed, again, I don't know him at all, but he just seems very genuine with his feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's definitely a heart on your sleeve kind of guy. He
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So, like, when he said that he's like nervous about the quiz, like, I genuinely believe he's nervous
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
quiz.
I to be honest, I was surprised that Chell went and not Brandon.
Well, I think everybody was.
Yeah.
I think everyone just assumed Brandon would go because he missed a night.
Yeah, he missed a whole entire night. So unless somebody shared notes with him, which I did not.
Neither did I. And that's what I asked in the other group, which was, did anybody share notes with Brandon? And no, like everyone said
I
no.
mean, it's like seriously, how can you pass a quiz if you miss a whole entire night? And I'm going to be honest with you, when Anthony missed because of his dinner, I shared everything I had with him, which
Mm,
didn't do him any good. So he
Right.
must not have, paid attention to anything I gave him. But I was in a quasi alliance with him. So
with
I was like,
Anthony.
yeah, I was. And I was sad to see him go. So I was actually really surprised too.
Yeah, it is bizarre that Brandon didn't get the lowest on the quiz, which
Yeah.
leads me to believe Brandon got lucky. Because he wouldn't have known all the answers. Assuming his instincts were right. Or Chell put all of his eggs in a wrong basket.
Chell he must have answered, and I think Anthony did the same thing too. They were laser focused on one
One
person
person.
that wasn't the right person.
Mhm.
So, but I almost feel like Brandon is headed down that pathway as well. So he's got to like change up what he's doing. Well, if he's the next one to go, I'm okay with that, I guess.
Yeah,
But,
same.
Yeah, it was surprising.
I mean, some of the questions were like ones that I didn't know. Like, I'm trying to think of like the blurred black backgrounds. Like that was a guess on. I was like, I don't remember who had blurred backgrounds, and
Right.
the who arrived in what group of people. Well, I don't remember.
Yeah. I know that, like, okay, so Jonathan always has a blurred background. Chell
Yeah.
always had a blurred background. But as far as like some of these other ones, you're like, unless you start writing down what everybody has on, how their hair is done, this and that and that and that, it's like you are truly guessing at that point.
Yeah, and I guessed on a few because I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but hopefully this is enough to keep me safe. Yeah, it was shocking that I think we were all just kind of expecting Brandon to go.
100%. 100%.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me, I mean, wouldn't he be like the perfect mole? Because nobody suspects him. And then you totally miss a night and you're okay with, I don't know.
He was, I think, for like my first interview with Phil, I put him down as my long shot. I had two other people, and I was like, Brandon is my like long shot that I think he could be it. And then by like I think the second week, when he like his just emotions were so genuine about being nervous
Right.
or being excited or whatever it was, and I was just like, oh, there's no way he's the mole. No way.
I don't know. I mean, you never know. The kid could be worthy of an Oscar too. I mean,
I don't
who
know him.
knows?
Right. Yeah, who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. I mean, he's clearly skilled at this because he's run his own org. He's
That's
playing
true.
another game right now. He's
Mm.
playing some Disney World thing or something. So he's not new to this concept at all.
Yeah.
He could be like putting out this persona where nobody is like, oh, he could never pull that off. You know, just like I
Yeah.
was thinking, I don't
Right.
know.
I mean, if he is the mole, like, good on him.
Yeah.
Good on
Nobody
him.
would see that coming. Not really.
No, well, and that's the thing is like, I don't think anyone's answering their quizzes. I mean, I shouldn't say anybody, maybe they are, but are like, I don't know. Maybe we all have it wrong. And like, this is the thing. Maybe we all have it wrong, and just like Chell got, maybe he was slower than somebody in submitting a quiz or had
True.
one question
Yep.
difference. All it takes is like
It just takes
not
one.
a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you can only earn one exemption per season, right? Unless you win it on the wheel. Did I read that in the rules?
I thought you could own. Could you earn the exemption only once, or could your name go up on the wheel only? No.
It was one or the other. 'Cause Somebody,
Let's see. We've
somebody
got
else
time.
said that. Yeah, somebody else told me that too. Like, oh, you can only get it once.
Well, I know there was something, but didn't. No, I guess Jonathan hasn't had an exemption twice, but he's gotten two things because he had an advantage last time,
Yeah.
and you were exempt, and Heather's been exempt and also has the power. Let's see. Exemptions. In some cases, exemptions are awarded to a single player for taking on a role. Okay. During our just exemption. Oh, here we go. Or at least one part. During our discussion times, exemptions may happen by a random spin on our exemption wheel or by taking part in an exemption task. If you ever win an exemption on the exemption wheel, your name comes off the exemption wheel.
Okay.
So your name can only, if you've won it, your name can't go back up on the wheel again.
Okay.
Oh, if at any time a player earns more than one exemption in the same round, they must give that exemption to another player. They cannot carry it over to a future round. So it looks
Okay.
like you can win it, you can have it multiple times,
But
in
not in the
theory.
same round. Okay.
not the same round, and you didn't win yours on a wheel.
No.
So like if we had one this go around, yes,
So anyone that's won an exemption so
on a wheel.
could win one again as long as it's not a previous wheel win.
Yeah.
Okay.
All exemptions will be known to the group prior to that round's exemption or execution quiz.
Yeah, when I came back from my come on and defuse the bomb or whatever that was.
Yep.
Phil was like, you don't have to tell anybody if you don't want to. I'm like, everybody's gonna know because A, I'm coming back with $0, and B, you're gonna tell everybody anyways. So
Yeah,
why
so like
would
I might as well own
why
up
would
to
I
it.
try to be all sneaky and stuff?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it would change the game, I think, a little bit if Phil didn't announce it. Because that's what I was kind of thinking if like with Brandon, I was like, did he somehow get some mystery exemption for some reason? And you know what I mean? And it just wasn't announced.
He's had one. What round was
He
that
has had
in?
one.
Yeah. But that was
How old is your daughter?
8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My daughter is almost 7.
And then she wanted to go to bed at like 7:15. I'm like, no.
Well, that's why, because she made
She-
herself
yeah.
way
Oh,
too
yeah.
tired waking up too early.
Yeah.
I also have a 10 and a 12-year-old. So the 8 o'clock start time is a little tricky because obviously they're still awake.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily my husband's managing that duty. But I do try to get my daughter in bed by 8.
Yeah, she was in bed by 8.
Oh, that's good. I didn't take note on how long it was when we made our decision.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't
But
think
I
it would
guess
take.
the other group too, though, they could also like discuss strategy a bit too.
Right.
It might not just be the last group.
I think we have the
The quick-
least strategizing to do.
right.
I guess it would depend on how much money they give us.
But Phil also said any money we don't spend doesn't go back in the pot, right? So it's not like they'll want to give us large amounts each round
Yeah.
because we're only going to go to each spot. Are we allowed to go to the same spot more than once?
I can't see why not. They didn't say that we couldn't.
Yeah. Because if we go to one spot and the mole's not there, that doesn't mean the mole won't go there
It's
on
going to be there another
turn.
time.
Yeah.
It'll become a bit harder once there's more options.
right, because we're
Travel.
both headed towards the same area right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I figure $5, like I don't they can't spend 5 right now, but interested in seeing what they do with the money.
Right. Hopefully we didn't confuse them by
What if we don't give them
that much
any? What happens if we don't give them any money?
Is that an option?
Well, I'm just curious. I think so. Like, what are we? Because here's the thing: is like we could spend. We got to catch them in 10 moves. Potentially, like we could take upwards of $50 out of our pot,
Right.
and fail to catch them all. What are we standing to gain by catching them all?
We are standing
Remember?
to gain $30 if we get to all the banks before the mole does.
Gotcha. So that's the thing is like, are we spending more money getting to the bank than the bank is worth? And then do we have to get to the bank and catch them all? I don't remember.
I think oh yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna ask
I'd
that
like
question.
to say I think if we get to all the banks before the mole does, we get that money and maybe the game is over.
But I thought we had to catch the mole. I don't know. I gotta
But there was
ask.
something like if we catch, oh damn it. If we catch the mole, the game is over. We know
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he said happens with the money.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, could we, in theory, lose a lot of money catch the mole, the game be over, and us just be out money in the end? Like, are we just playing this
It
game?
sounds like that's a possibility. I mean,
You know what I mean?
so if we catch the mole and the money is still in the banks, do we get that money?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because to spend $50 to earn 30 doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
We'll have to ask him that when he comes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
and-
didn't write any of that down. We start on 1, mole 11, 10 moves, 3 banks. And that's,
yeah. It was complex instruction.
there's a lot of moving parts in this one.
Uh-huh. I don't know how Phil thinks of these things. And like every game he does is different.
I know. I'm thinking back to like, I've been playing games with him for 10 years. And
Same.
I'm sure you have as well, if not longer.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a single thing he's ever repeated. I mean, yeah, you always do a puzzle or whatever.
Yeah.
We had the one time where we actually had to print out, cut it out, arrange all these shapes into like a square or a rectangle or whatever, send him a picture of it. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, I love it.
This is ridiculous.
I love it.
Uh,
Oh, Phil.
we had one time I played with Ryan Patterson, and it was just him and me. We were the last 2 people, and Phil would send you just this random Google Earth snapshot, right? You had to identify where it was, and all you had to go on was maybe like a street sign or a banner on the side of a bus or something, and it was like, oh my God, it was crazy.
The one that sticks out for me, and I can't remember if this was his final Survivor game or not, but it was, or one of the last ones he did. It was, we were still in tribes, and he had 5 or 6 different itineraries of flights. So it's like, find the fastest or the quickest arrival time. Like, you're starting in Toronto, you gotta arrive in like Auckland, New Zealand. Like, give me the flight numbers and find the like quickest time to arrive there. And we had to do that like 5 times over, and it was just fun, like trying to Google all the different like flight times and take into
So you were finding real
consideration-
flights. Real flights?
Yes, real
Oh my
flights. Yeah, real flights. And like we had to take into consideration like time zone and like crossing the like, what is it, the prime meridian? Is that
Yeah,
the
like the international date line or something.
yes, the
like
date
that, yeah.
line. Yeah. And like that made a difference in some of the flights traveling west versus east. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, he's clever. He was just like made to do this.
For sure.
He really was. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. It's been an hour and 5 minutes and we've made 2 moves.
What? Oh, we've made 2 moves.
Made 2 moves.
And I know everyone is probably overthinking this just as much as we are.
Oh,
But Tina, if we don't give them any money, think how fast the game will go.
well, that's one way to speed it up.
It'll be over in 10 minutes. I wonder if that is an option. Or do we have to give them? I feel
Okay,
like
so
it's
we
probably an
wanna
option not
ask
to give them any
him-
money.
If we catch the mole and end the game, do we get the money in the banks?
Right. How do
And
we earn money in this challenge?
yeah, right?
Yeah.
How do we get money and not lose it? So we want to know that, and we want to know if it's possible to not give them any money. Because let's say they take rickshaw for some reason on this turn. That
Yep.
means they still have $4 left.
Yep.
And helicopters are 5. They can take a boat for 4. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But if we don't give them any money, then they can't go anywhere.
At least for a few turns, but that would be a
Well,
shit thing
'cause
to do.
we will at least spend at a minimum $10 playing this, assuming we do a rickshaw every time. And I would assume in order to catch the mole or go to the bank, we probably need to spend more than $10.
Right, especially if it's not costing the mole anything, they're gonna be
Yeah.
like jetting around all over the
Oh yeah, of
place.
course.
Yeah.
Mm. How's Ryan doing?
Not good. No,
And if
But
Jonathan won, he still would get money. And then does the mole win whatever money is there automatically in
I
the
don't
mole's
know.
pot? I'd have to read the
I'd have
how
go
to
back and
play
look.
again.
Because if it's let's say it's the two of them in the end, would there be anything in it for Brandon?
If Jonathan's the mole and
Yes.
Brandon wins, he gets the player's pot.
And then Jonathan would get
The
because he
mole's
made it
pot,
to
I
the end.
believe.
Okay.
I don't think there's a way that the mole can get kicked out.
No, there's not.
So I think no matter what, the mole gets something.
Whatever's in the pot. So what would be the point then?
Deciding who your favorite player is to try to help.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Hopefully they
Or
catch
split
on
the money
though
in the
that
end.
yeah. Hopefully they catch on though. Like
Yeah,
that's where the mole would obviously try to go.
yeah.
So did Phil tell us how much the mole was given this round or no, only how much we were given?
Only how much we were given.
Because on the first round he told us that the mole had $1.
No, he'd only told us that the mole was traveling by rickshaw.
Oh, so not
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna look at this board again. So if the mole was traveling by rickshaw,
It could only have gone to number 10.
right.
But then from there it could have gone.
Could I have my
8?
charger?
Thirsty.
Yep.
It's a big.
Could I trouble you to grab my charger because my phone's gonna die?
That girl. A whole bottle in one glass. Well, can't do it every night, right?
That's right. My husband's laughing because I said I poured myself a glass of wine.
Needed.
This was my glass of wine.
I mean, technically,
He goes,
it's a
well, last
tumbler.
night. Yeah, there's ice in there. Could have been fuller. Last night he said, "Are you gonna have a drink?" I go, "No, you can't drink every night." So
True.
he said this. He goes, "Ooh, thirsty tonight."
You're making up for last
Right.
night.
Every other night you can, but not every night.
Got to make responsible choices.
Not every single night, every other night. Fine.
Let's see if this round moves a bit faster.
I think they're going to go faster the less questions everybody has.
Yeah, and because I wasn't even catching on at first that the rickshaw meant we could only go, like, I didn't realize we could only move to spot number 2. Here I was thinking like, oh,
just
the
go
rickshaw. I at first was looking at, because you can see the map now, right?
Yes.
So I was looking at the ones where it was only a triangle. So I thought, here I was thinking, oh, the mole is only going to go to spot 7, 5. Then I realized the other spots were, that's why I said, wait a minute, there's a triangle and then another shape. So that big bank though is sneaky because you don't almost realize at first that it's the circle, the square, and the triangle.
Everything.
Yeah. And here he was when he was describing the game. I'm like chicken scratch writing how to like understand how to play. It probably seems so clear to Phil, and then here we are trying to figure it out,
Figure it out. It's like rocket science.
right?
Oh, oh, that was fast.
Oh.
This is Phil. Like I get the whole like, you know, prior record, people are under a microscope.
They could already be at the big bank
Right.
because they could potentially be at the big bank.
Are they, because does the mole have unlimited money?
I don't know. Yeah, 'cause I didn't write down that there was any specific amount.
I didn't write down like that the mole had any money.
No,
I
I
only
didn't
read
either.
that I only wrote that they could only use the boat taxi twice and the helicopter once. And there's only going to be a total of 10 moves.
Yeah.
So no matter what, we're taking money out of our pot. I don't think
Yeah.
we're winning money here. This is just trying to see if we can stop the game as
As
fast
quick
as
as possible.
possible. Actually, no. Do we get the money if we get to one of these banks before the mole?
I think so.
Okay, so maybe we get that money. Yeah, it was a lot of information.
Or when we catch the mole, do we get the money that the mole has stolen from the banks?
Possibly. That might be possible because I don't know if the mole gets to these banks, is it stealing the money from our pot?
Right.
Maybe that is what he said.
I feel like they're going to take the subway to the big bank.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. And then if we get to the big bank. But then
Although that would be too, I feel
if
like that would
Jonathan
be
or
almost too
Brandon
easy.
are the mole, they're going to go a different way.
They might go to the middle bank because they might think, oh, they're going to pick the big bank.
Yeah. But they couldn't go to the middle bank. If they were on the subway, they could only have gone to the big bank or number 6.
Oh, hopefully they're thinking that through. You are right. I was forgetting to think about calculating the mole's moves at first too.
Just too much thinking. Because they could just be going to random spots trying to throw us off.
Yeah, and
Wait, but the moles
they can't go
moves were
too random though.
predetermined.
They can't go too random because you're right, it is predetermined and they can't go too random because they have to take their modes. Or
Right.
do they have access to any mode? I think they get to pick whatever mode they want.
They can pick whatever mode they want.
They don't have dollar values.
No.
But like you said, if they took rickshaw, then their only option from that spot was to take either the rickshaw again or the subway.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have been able to go to the, like you said,
No.
the middle bank. Let's hope they picked the big bank.
Or if they did rickshaw, and if they're on spot number 8, they could go to the little bank.
Right. They could go to the little bank, or if they were to take a bus, does that mean they could move 2 spaces?
They could only go to the next green square. So they could have gone to the little bank, 13, 12, or 4.
$13, $12, or 4. They wouldn't be able to go to
14 or 18.
right.
Oh no, they could go to 18. Rickshaw. They could go to the big bank.
18, 17, 13, or 12.
Or 4.
Or 4. Curious to see how this plays out.
And not knowing what that mode of transportation is that they chose the last round is going to throw you off, because it could have been either, which could have put them in a multitude of spots.
True.
My brain hurts.
I know, I wasn't even thinking of some of those as possible options. Well, this is turn number 3. So hopefully we can stop them all. But I think if they are getting to those banks, I think that's money coming out of our pot.
Our pot.
Yeah, so I think no matter what this round, we're losing a chunk of money here.
Yeah.
And they took the bus to 14 and we take the bus to 14, we catch the mole there,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Not
but
that they
here's
were
the thing.
already at 14 and left.
Sorry? Say that again?
It's not like they were already at 14 and left. They're still
No,
there.
so
They're still on 14,
They
right?
were that the middle bank, we got informed the middle bank was robbed, and then we got informed that they took the bus.
Oh, okay.
So I think if I was the mole, obviously they're trying to go to each one of the 3 banks in order to win. If we go to 14, assuming, and that may be a big assumption that that's where they go. If we go to 14 and we don't catch the mole, obviously they didn't go there, right? They
Yeah.
went somewhere else. The mole has to go to that bank at some point. What if we don't give the players any more money and we just hang out in that bank and wait for the mole?
Yeah, because if I was the mole and the players knew I was at the $15 bank, you don't know where the players are at. It
No.
almost makes more sense to go the other way.
The mole or us?
Yeah, the mole.
But the mole's already made up their pattern. What we
Yeah,
do is
that's
not
true.
impacting the mole, right?
Right.
So that's the thing, is like the mole like in theory has to go to that bank at some point. So if they're not going this turn, at some point they're gonna make their way to the
They're gonna
bank
go there. Yeah,
and we'll be there.
yeah. It might be good to just park
And they have,
see.
assuming that they use that $2. This is all based on the fact they use the $2 and they go to that bank on the left. Because then they'll be out of money and they can't move because we won't give them anymore. So
Right.
then the decision making is on
We
our,
just
like,
sit at that bank.
yeah, and wait.
Eventually the mole's gonna show up there.
Yeah, and we'll catch them.
Yep. I actually like that plan. And I think once we can explain that to everybody, they'll get it. Because
they'll
we're
be
only on
Super
round
pissed right
5.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
But that's based on if we end up in 14 right now, which is a big F. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, be interesting. And why not?
Yeah. We don't blow any more money out of our pot.
Because we've already spent $7.
Yeah. And the mole is going to really try hard to get to that bank.
Yeah.
You would think, right? Because that's their objective.
Mm-hmm. Their objective is to hit all 3 banks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see where they end up. Watch, they'll be in a completely different spot and we'll have to rethink everything.
You're like, come on, you dumb shits.
Yeah.
They've got to be wondering what we're thinking too. They're like, really? $1?
Yeah, $1. What are we supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Take
Hopefully
the
you're not
bus.
thinking like $1, like, oh, now I got to take the rickshaw again.
Yeah.
God.
I don't know. What is... Oh, the next group determines the method of travel and the last group makes the move. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it makes it hard because you can't communicate between the groups. So the next ones are going, okay, so we have this much money, and then the third people are like, let's go over to 12. You know,
Mhm.
it's, yeah, this is tough.
Mhm.
And it's complicated because you're going on this not really 100% understanding what, I don't know. I mean, there's still some of the rules I'm a little fuzzy on, as far as you seem like you got it. You've got this nailed.
Well, I don't know. I like at all. I'm just trying to think of this more logically, which was my thought about do we even give the money? Like, are we just burning money to gain potentially nothing, right?
Right. Right. No, I agree. It's, why burn through it for one challenge? We have another challenge tomorrow night. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And ultimately, as you know, and I know, the money doesn't matter.
Well, all right. So I'm going to tell you something. During my conversation with Brandon, he was talking about how much the money would mean to him
Mm.
because he's got a church thing he wants to go to, and there's a ticket it costs $69. And I said, Brandon, don't focus on the money. I
Yeah.
said, I'm sure once this is over, we can work something out.
For sure.
So if he comes back and says something, I'm obviously not trying to bribe him. I'm doing okay. And if church is what makes this kid happy, I'll send him the frickin' $70 so he can buy a ticket.
Yeah.
I'd rather see him turn around and do something good with the money
Mm-hmm.
and not focus on that. You know what I'm saying?
Breakout rooms will close. We catch the
Did
mole
we catch the mole
already? I guess we'll find out.
I guess so.
Got you.
That